Let me move to another question I'd like to do. Which is your opinion about what you would call the equation design country? Just to explain what I mean. For example, at present we can recognize different trends in design that could be englobed in what we call Japan design. In fact, it's getting, for example, here in Barcelona, it's getting very well known and it's highly commercial. New shops coming in, all with so-called Japanese design and things like that. And in the illustration and the comic world, there's also a very strong input of Japan design, easily recognized. Would that, do you think that happens with other countries as well? For example, we can talk of an American design, British design.
Yeah, it does. American design right now, there was a period of time, probably 4 or 5 years ago, where things were getting very homogenized across the country, and that just has to do with the internet, has to do with the ease of travel across the United States and across the borders, and you know, everything's just a smaller world. But I would say in the last year or so, you're seeing more regionalism. It's kind of going back to the way it was, and I don't know if that's because people are defending their turf and they want to have a more recognized style and not such a McDonald's of the world, you know, flattening of aesthetic. Places like Minneapolis, which has been a design hotspot for years and years, is really coming back again. But so are places in the Midwest that you wouldn't imagine. Kansas City, Kansas does not sound like a design hotspot, but it's a very vibrant community. Lincoln, Nebraska is another one. The East and West Coast, of course, they have a lot of action going on, but there's a lot of other places. In Texas is another place where there's a lot of very strong design, and you can recognize that as such. Well, those are both pretty Midwestern places. Minneapolis is probably a little bit more cosmopolitan. Probably the design in the Midwest is a lot more people-based. It's a lot more straightforward message. Not probably as much in terms of real high production values. I don't mean it's not good or doesn't try hard. Of course it does. It's just a more basic approach to communication, very straightforward. And then on the coast, of course, you just see things that are a little bit more sophisticated. New York has a lot more European influence. You know, you do see a lot of very, very high profile work. I think it has to do a lot with the way people are.
Of course.
You know, I think people in the Midwest are just very much more straightforward people. They say what they mean, and that's what they wanted to tell you. So the way they design, you know, it reflects that.